Hello, it is me again, Wilma, Wilma's Alternative Solutions, and another deck review. Today, the Revelations Tarot by Zach Wong. This deck kind of reminds me of stained glass. I'd wanted it for years, and I finally invested in it a few weeks ago, and it's been a favorite of mine since. I got this deck because it's all about reversals. It shows dual meanings of upright and reverse, and I'll show you what I mean. First, the backs are really cool. They're, again, excuse me, they're very, you can't tell one side from the other, so you could pull from whatever side. So they're great to mix around like that. Since they are a, upright and reversal deck, that's an absolutely fabulous way to do it. The cardstock is good. It's a little thin, but it slides really nice, and it holds up really nice. I really like the cardstock because it's not, as a deck, when I put it together, it's not too thick and too hard and heavy to shuffle. So that's nice. There are other decks that I have that have a nice thick cardstock, and they might shuffle well, but they're so thick that they don't fit my smaller hand as well. It comes with 2 spread cards, which is nice if you're into that sort of thing. These are the cards that I picked out specifically to show you the upright and reversals. I particularly like the court cards in this deck. If you struggle with court cards, most people do, it's like court cards are just kind of people sitting there doing nothing. The Illuminati Tarot did a really wonderful job at comparing court cards to people. The Housewives Tarot does a really great job at bringing out the energies and characters of the courts. This deck also does it. I'll show you in a second. But the Ace of Wands here, upright, you can see the inspiration, the lit flame. And then in reverse, you can see, the flame goes out. Look at how the flame is. It's encapsulated. It's not, it's just, there's no spark, and it's totally closed off. So that's a really cool card. Here's a perfect example, the Knight of Wands. Excuse me. Again, this isn't stained glass, but the deck has that kind of, I don't know, it's kind of like almost like a pixelated view to it. And at first I was kind of like, it doesn't give me a lot of depth, but the more I look at it, I'm able to see things come out through the background. So, the King of Wands in reverse, he's riding his dragon, he's confident, he knows where he's going, he's looking straight forward. And then in reverse, he doesn't know he doesn't really know. It's rhyme to reason. The dragon's going backwards, he's just kind of going this way and that. So it really gives you something to focus on rather than somebody just sitting there, especially in reverse. The Knight of Pentacles, again, here he is, very solid and grounded, Mr. Loyalty. And look at the background image, of the city behind him. And then in reverse, he's just lost all direction and grounding, and he doesn't know. Yeah. So King of Wands, again, here he is, happy, the dragon, he's got it going on. In the background, I believe that's flowers. Yeah, flowers. But again, that dragon. And then in reverse, he's kind of as a friend of mine put it the other day, he's a narcissist. But he's, he's lazy, he's indulgent. Look at the women, he's just doing his own thing. That dragon head is really just focused on him. Look at the look on his face. I think it really captures it well. The Tower is a great example. While this card doesn't show much, it's, again, it's very pixelated, but it shows, the swirl of everything happening right there in the middle. And upright, it shows everything's coming apart, but there's still a semblance of order and a reason. There's a rhyme to reason why things happen. In reverse, everything's scattered and you just lost and can't find your way and can't figure out even how to pick up the pieces. So this is a great example, I think. And again, the Queen of Swords, she's very dignified, she's level. And then in reverse, I love this card. This card is this is the Queen of Swords, the I can't even card. She's literally like, it's literally like I can't even, and she's gonna get nasty and quick-witted and sharp-tongued because of it. She's lost her patience and she's not having it. The Page of Swords, again in reverse. It's that covering the mouth kind of shyness, but there's also a gossip feeling to it. And then upright, you have that airy, windy, bringing in the ideas feel, which is really cool. The Knight of Swords, again, here he is, charge. He knows where he's going. He's got a plan of action. But I mean, exactly, he knows exactly where he's going. In reverse, he has no control. Look at the way he's... So, I mean, this is an amazing... I think this is a great deck for teaching reversals, and it's a great deck for quartz. I'm really impressed with this deck. Love it, love it, love it. Again, the King of Pentacles. In reverse, he's just kind of greedy, lazy, just kind of reminds me of somebody I won't mention. The Empress is a really cool card. In reverse, she turns into a bit of a hag. And you can see I'm not going to comment on some of these things, but I think, it's all open to personal interpretation. The book does go into things. I'm not going to go into the book right now. The High Priestess is really cool. You can see the people in the background. She's open. She's holding the moon. And then in reverse, she's like, hold up and look at all the masks in the background. It's like all the masked, the masked people. The Ace of Swords in reverse, you can see the pressure. The Page of Wands, hello. But in reverse, it's extra forceful. And yeah. The Ace of Cups in reverse, you see the water flowing out. The people, or the person, is literally trying to hold back, and it's just not working. The Six of Swords is a really cool card as well, because this is a difficult card sometimes, even in, even moving forward in an upright. There's a lot we're leaving behind, and we're looking at that, and we're reflecting on that in the water. But then in reverse, you see just how hard it is to leave that behind, and how they're still struggling just to hang on and just to get by, but it's really caught in the past and still holding on to that illusion. And that's exactly what it is. They're illusions, because everything has to change. It's like you have to move forward, but you're trying to hold on to that past, even though it's crippling and like under your feet. It's like reality is shifting under you and crippling and falling away, and yet you're still there. That was kind of like in the never-ending story that happened. Death in reverse, it shows the renewal and the rebirth. And then in upright, it shows Kali and how everything was come to an end. The Eight of Swords in reverse shows the removing of the blindfold and starting to come out of bondage and starting to realize that there is a little bit of sense of control and taking that back. The Two of Swords in reverse is a really great card. It took me a second to really understand this card. And then I saw the tight wires, and it's like this careful balance of each other. And upright, he's got it. And you can see he's got the confidence, and he's holding on, and he's got this balance. But in reverse, he's just trying really hard to hold it together and hold on, and he's just barely got it. So this is a great representation. The Fool, again, in reverse. He's like, I'm not really sure where I'm going. He's not holding on to his wand. You'll notice everything is kind of upside down and wonky. Whereas upright, he's kind of going with the flow. And, he's happily going on. And then we also have the baby there. The baby in the flower, it's the newness. And then here you can see it's almost like the baby is like more, I don't know, to me it's a little more like, I'm not sure I want to do this. The devil upright, the devil's doing what he's doing. And then in reverse, he's really, really power hungry and obsessed. Look at all that money piling up. And you've got the bondage people. So it's really interesting. The King of Swords, again, there he is, just upright. And in reverse, you see the abuse of power, the blindfolded across his eyes. It's almost like there's an energy, like, it's like I've had it up to here moment. The Three of Swords, I thought this was a really great card. Because the Three of Swords in upright, it's almost like, okay, I have to go through this and this hurts. In reverse, it's just complete and utter anguish and anxiety. The Three of Wands, again, upright, you have this meeting of the minds, moving forward, networking, making decisions, going forward with things. In reverse, there's a loss and confusion of direction. Again, the Five of Swords. Oh my God. That's just literally how I take that in reverse. Like, oh my God. The Knight of Cups in reverse. You can see he's depressed and just doesn't know how to get in touch with his emotions. He's just starting to lose it as he's dropping the cup and he's looking down. The Eight of Cups, starting to break free. I want to be free. Sorry, that song, sometimes I get songs stuck in my head with cards. Whereas the Eight of Cups in reverse, she's just still caught up in the illusion and blindly, kind of following where this is going and not paying attention to where it leads. The Queen of Wands in reverse. Look at her like, how am I gonna get you now? And like the people in bondage. This is the judgmental eye. This card speaks a lot. Whereas, upright, she has, she's ready to go. She's got it going on. She's, the queens are always very balanced in their, the kings and queens are very balanced in their upright. But not so much reversed. The Four of Swords is interesting because you can see here he's pulling up the blanket, he's resting, he's choosing a rest. You can see his rest is peaceful as he lays his head. Whereas in reverse, his head is not peaceful. His head is kind of wrapped in bandages. He's wrapped here as in, to wounds, and he's kind of forced into rest. So it's that if you don't do it, it's going to do you. The Page of Pentacles in reversed, not be, feeling disconnected. The Four of Pentacles, this is really great. The Four of Pentacles, you have that typical, this is mine. And then the Four of Pentacles in reversed. Where's the toilet paper? Oh my God, my toilet paper. And that's all I'm going to say on that. Again, the King of Cups in reverse is, there he is indulging in his cup. Here he's straight up and down. His eyes wide open. He's empathic. He's there. But in reverse, you see he's just staring off in his own perception. He's just like oblivious to everybody else and often escaping into his own world. So those are the cards that I wanted to demonstrate, or the ones that I found particularly fascinating. But here, you know, is the entire deck. Really quick. A lot of these are in reverse. And my neighbors seem to be active. It seems to be one thing or the other. Last time I did a video, it was honking cars, and this time it's trees coming down. So it's busy. I love this Justice card. This is a really great deck. So for something that's, you know, I feel like the art is very simple and plain, it's got that dualistic nature, which is really impressive, but it also has, it gives you a chance to really stare into the images and stare into the background to get more out of it. So I've really enjoyed it. But it shuffles like a dream. The Magician is great. The Four of Wands, this kind of reminds me of Post-it notes. I've looked at these before. Okay. The Lovers is interesting because you have, you know, the upright, that connection versus lust. The Eight of Pentacles is interesting. That's a great card. The colors are really rich and vibrant. The book is, it's not as detailed as some books, but it's definitely got at least like 2 pages for each card. And it does mirror the Rider-Waite Smith. You know, it mirrors the Rider ideas. So it doesn't follow all the colors, but you can see in terms of deck thickness, it's not too bad to shuffle, but it does shuffle very well. So I love this deck. I believe it comes with the book as a kit. It's still available on Amazon and most retailers. It's a decent price, but it's an amazing deck. If you struggle with reversals and really want to get into reversals, I would definitely look into it. Thanks for watching, and let me know what you think.